Hi, this is Tim with SmallScaleRC.com. I'm going to throw some upgrades on one of my Traxxas TRX-4Ms, and I thought I would document the process a little bit. Now, as you can see, I've already done some upgrading to this model, and this is one of my newer TRX-4Ms. I think I have, I was trying to count earlier, I think I have 4 or 5 of these altogether in my collection. Already what I've done is some brass weight upgrades, brass diff covers, front and rear from Injora, brass steering linkage from Injora. I have some brass steering knuckles and brass counterweights in the back. Those are from Samix. They have a really cool disc brake detail that just adds some nice scale visual to this rig as well. And I also have some aftermarket bumpers from Injora. So what we're going to do today is we're going to swap out the motor, which I pretty much have done on all of my vehicles, save for one, or actually 2, but we're going to take care of this one in just a moment. I'm going to go with my go-to, the Injora 180 Pro. But then along with that, we are going to put in Injora's low-speed steel gears to, again, make this a more crawling focused performer versus a speed demon, because we don't really need that, and I don't want this Bronco to be set up to go too fast. We don't really need that for the scale of machine. And then finally, we're going to put in a REEFS 55Micro steering servo just to give this thing a little extra power up front when it comes to steering performance. And I should mention, I forgot to, I just put these on too today. Injora oil-filled shocks. Most of my rigs have these. I have like 1 or 2 that are still running stock shocks, but I do like these. I've got these on several of my small scale machines. Let's take a look at what we need to do to tackle our servo and our motor swap. So first off, this is my pointer. We're going to have to clip a couple zip ties here. As you can see, I've got some extra cabling and extra wiring. That's for the lights on this bumper. We're going to take our battery out. Easy enough. We're then going to have to remove the battery tray. We're going to remove the transmission. We're going to be taking the transmission apart. We're going to unhook all of this to make sure we have a nice clean workspace, to make sure we have enough room to do what we need to do with this upgrade. And then for the servo, we're going to be removing the servo horn and then the mounting screws on the stock servo. We're going to pull that out. The 55Micro is sized to be exactly like the stock Traxxas TRX-4M servo. So we'll pop that in, and hopefully we won't have any issues getting our steering or servo horn to match up either. So why don't we start working on this little machine? We'll have to do enough little work on this thing, but not a whole lot. We won't have to remove any wheels or anything like that. Be very careful I don't clip any wires. And I'm taking these clips off. That was a close one. All right, so that's going to help free up our cabling. Let's see, we'll pull that out. It's going to free this up. And then let's just go and take all these out right away. And then we're going to start to loosen that up. I hope I have right size bit in here. I do. Hot dog. So I've done this upgrade, motor upgrade, like I said, on several TRX-4Ms before. And then along with that, I've also done the low end gear swap. Some of the gears I've used have been the Traxxas plastic gears. Others I have done Injora's metal gears. Both work very well. A little bit of a trick to get this out. Just give it a little push. If you haven't done this before, it can be a little tricky. There's a sticker right here that sticks really well to that transmission. So you have to give it a little push to get it popped out. Now we can free up our motor. Four screws to get that out. Transmission. It's a tedious process, but it is worth it in the end. That should be it. There we go. There we are. All right, transmission's free. Now we're going to remove our screws for the transmission case. That's going to give us access to the gears and then also motor plate so we can get that motor out as well. Okay, so then I'm going to have to take this drive shaft end off. And there's that. There's that. Grab the right bag. Get our new gear set out of here. And this does come with a new pinion gear as well. I have to see what that looks like. I might keep the stock pinion gear on this motor for right now. Let's get that out of the packaging too, since that's going to be worked on soon enough.
It's raining.
11. So that's an 11 tooth pinion. 11 as well. So I'm going to keep that stock pinion on there. We're going to pull all these other transmission gears out. So, well, I have to do one more thing. You will have to take both of the drive, both of the drive shaft ends out to let you pull the gears out. All right, and then we need to do this a somewhat educated way. That's that one. And this is there. That's that. This is right. That and that. Okay, I think we got that figured out. Oops. Darn magnets. All right, now we're going to pull our motor mount screws out.
Roll. Put it.
And two. That will let us pull that stock motor right out. So while I'm thinking of it, let's just get this out of here. Completely. Oh gosh, I almost clipped the wire. That was bad. All right, could have been bad. But let's see. Even though I've done this a couple times, it can kind of throw me for a loop a little bit. I haven't done it in a while. It's been about a year since I've done an upgrade like this on one of these TRX-4Ms. Okay, so our old 87 turn motor out. We have our new 48 turn motor, and I still do have bushings in this transmission. I don't have bearings for that, so we're going to leave that as it is. Got a little bit of everything in some of my other TRX-4Ms, and with it being a small scale vehicle, and I'm not comp crawling with it or doing anything super performance oriented with it, leaving bushings in there is fine. I did put bearings in some of the axles earlier today on this one. So we're gonna get this fished in. All right. Now we can mount our... I don't have my screws organized very well, and I can probably hear some of you screaming at my video right now. Understood. I got you. I will get bit in the rear end, no doubt, by some of this. But we'll figure it out. So this one, no, yes, this was going there. So that one is this one. This one goes like that. Yes, all right. And then we have, I think, that looks about right. Okay. So now let's put our transmission case back together. A second. And then I can reattach my drive shafts, and we'll give it a little spin, and hopefully everything will work smoothly. That's on. Now we're back to drive shaft insertion. The right screws. I'm going to do a video at some point, fairly soon, like with my go-to TRX-4M upgrades. This is one of them, like I said. I have this set up in quite a few of my TRX-4Ms already. I really like it. It's a smooth setup. There we go. I was worried for a little bit. It's very smooth, but then beyond that, I do have a couple other kind of go-tos. So as soon as I get a fresh TRX-4M, throw some select upgrades on pretty much every single one of them. I guess that's why I like building these or upgrading these trucks too, is because you can do quite a bit with them, and you can play around, you can experiment and see what works and see what doesn't. One upgrade that I've made on 2 of my rigs, and I need to make it on more, is to put steel drive shafts on. I destroyed one last year with a true crawler based TRX-4M build, and it just, so much torque, absolutely destroyed the drive shaft. So now I am rocking a steel drive shaft on that one. Get our transmission back in place. One screw in there. Give this a... Come on now. Should be able to at least get this to go. Yeah, she's geared really low. She's geared really low. Okay. So let's finish getting this transmission back and get this back in place, and then we'll work on our servo. So as you can see, I didn't put the battery tray back in yet. I want to keep that out just for the time being. Let's see, best way to attack this is going to be remove this screw. We'll get our steering linkage separated from the servo horn. And then we're going to pull these two screws out.
Sorry.
And there's two. I'll lose screws, and that should just lift right out like so. We're gonna take, darn, I jinxed myself. Gotta go track down another wrench. I will be right back. Just thinking, hey, isn't it cool that I can do all this the same size wrench? Almost made it the whole way. All right, so we're going to take that out. I really hope this works. Maybe we'll find out, actually. I want to find this, try this right now. Oh, sweetness. Okay. So that's going to be good. I'm going to hook this up, and I'm going to get the battery hooked up. And then we'll get everything centered. And then we'll kind of see where we're sitting. And then we can get everything tightened down, buttoned down, and we'll be good to go. Back at it. I'm going to turn on my controller before I forget to do that. Cable overload. What needs to go?
Sir. Sooner. Terrible. Injora. With our across.
All right. Good deal. I'm going to plug the motor in right away too. Just because. Let's see how that. So many cables here. Oh yeah, that's nice. That low creep, isn't it? Oh, that's gonna be nice. Okay, I'm excited. Everything works. This is all centered, so I can get this back in place. We can leave that for right now. Try that again. All right, we're gonna get that in there. We're gonna get our much bigger screws in place. There we go. As I was saying, I'm happy that REEFS has this 55Micro now, because I do love their servos. Speaking of go-tos, my 10th scale rigs pretty much all get a 422 HD. I hope I got the name of that right. But that's, yeah, that is my go-to servo on my 10 scale machines. Very rare that I don't put that servo in those machines. So I can see this being, as long as it works well, I have no doubt that it wouldn't. I can see this being a go-to for my TRX-4Ms and even some of my other small scale crawlers like the FCX-18. All right, now got our new servo in. Have everything set up there. Got a mess of cables to deal with, but that's fine. Let's see. Let me make sure my length is good here. Oh, all right. We're going to get this back in place. Unplug these. Then we're going to put this in place, and then we'll deal with everything else. Got some tabs here and here on either side of this battery tray that need to get locked into these C channels, just like that. And we're going to push that back. We have our 2 remaining screws here. And then I just need to do a little cable management. Quick cable management. We'll be back in action, and I cannot wait to get this truck outside and crawling again, or even indoors. Doesn't matter. Indoors, outdoors, this thing's a rock star. Yeah, so I'm super excited. Now, final thing, battery. Here. Strap that down again. And let's get our connections before we get too far down the road here. This is fun. I so enjoy working on these 18th scalers versus 24th scale. Don't get me wrong, I like working on 24th scale too, but just having that little bit bigger size is nice. And I will jump at the chance to throw some upgrades at my 18th scale rigs, whether it's the TRX-4M or the Ascent 18, or the Capra UTB 18, which is an 18 scaler. I say half jokingly, that thing's a monster. It's so much fun though, but it's so not an 18 scaler when you compare it to these other machines. Oh, what did I might have battery out. All right, so I'm going to get this cleared up, get everything back in place, and then we'll give it a little table run, and we should be good to go. All right, back in action. Servo looks good. Oof. Plenty of low end. Let us creep up and over. Get that back to bite. Come on now. Up and over, looking good. Nice. Pardon the bright lights. Good Lord, ethos. Now this looks good. This looks good. Suspension's working nicely too. So I just threw that on today. Yeah, not bad. That low gear set is just phenomenal. And I love that extra boost that motor gives. For brush setup, it is not bad at all. Super fun. Super fun. So there you go. We've installed Injora's 180 48 turn Pro motor. The Injora steel low gear set and REEFS 55Micro steering servo in the Traxxas TRX-4M. Still have a kind of a rat's nest of cables. I may put a couple more, at least one more cable tie on there to help with that. Otherwise, I think we are good to go. Handles quite well indoors, as you just saw with our little foam wedge experiment. But I'm looking forward to getting this thing outside to really see what it can do. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed to the RC Noob and Small Scale RC YouTube channel, please do go ahead and do that. If you want to learn more about the parts and pieces and components that I have on this TRX-4M, be sure to visit smallscalerc.com, where I will have much more on each and every upgrade part that I am putting on my machines, whether it's shocks, servos, motors, gears, transmissions, brass, you name it. I will get reviews up and videos so you can see it in action as well. So yeah, excited. Nice little upgrade. If you haven't done an upgrade on the TRX-4M yet, very easy to do, depending on what you're doing. Like I said, I like this larger size from the 18th scale. So it's just a breeze to work on. So I hope you found the video to be helpful. Until next time, this is Tim with smallscalerc.com. Talk with you later.